y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a memory planning process for you. I am working in a big vertical classic happy planner. It's a vertical big happy planner. It is meant for memory planning. And I am doing the first week of April. So I have a ton of pictures from last week. There was a lot going on, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to fit it all on this page. I have some papers and stickers and ephemera from Journals for Life, which is just a fun little shop that I found online, and they have super cute things, and look at all of the cute spring pieces. So I will definitely be using those. Otherwise, I'm going to put you all on fast forward. I will link everything that I end up using down below. Let's go. All right, I'm going to take my pages out and start to get set here. This isn't super fast forward because I had a lot of pictures to trim out. It was a busy week. It was spring break for my kids and my parents were in town, so a ton of pictures. And because of that, I'm going to have to come up with some creative solutions to get them all on the page and still have room to write some of the stories down. The set I'm going to use is the spring set from Journals for Life, and I am not a member of their creative team or anything like that. I actually just purchased some of their products maybe a couple months ago now that I thought were super inspiring and shared them on my channel. And then as a thank you, the owner of Journals for Life sent me some of their spring stuff, and I thought it was so cute and just perfect for documenting the week of Easter with all of the bunnies and the spring animals. I thought it would be super cute. Okay, so you can see that's a lot of pictures. It's going to be hard to fit them all on. I'm a little bit lost as to where to start. I'll be honest, this particular layout took a little bit of time to come together. I just didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, how I was going to incorporate the papers. Some of the pictures have really strong colors, and you guys know that I don't like to change the colors of my pictures. I prefer to keep them the real color, but that means that's a lot of colors to work with and to kind of pull together on the page. So I started where I usually do, which is covering up the left side over here, this left banner area, sidebar you might call it. I usually cover that up with paper to kind of set the tone. This paper is cut into Traveler's Notebook size, and so it didn't go all the way down the edge, but that's okay. It allowed me to kind of put this block of the wood paper over there. And then I'm going to kind of use that block motif in several different parts. And that's one of the ways I was able to pull together the spread, is having those larger pieces of paper. So I always like to repeat a pattern on the left side and the right side. And I always like to repeat some shapes. And so these large blocks are what I'm going to use as my repeated shape. And you can see I'm kind of putting it together to create a little flip up or a little hidden part for more pictures to be located. So I'm going to put down this beautiful floral paper over here at the upper right hand side, and then with the wood tone paper I'm going to add a little flip up, a tip in, whatever you want to call it. It's another place for me to add photos. I'm actually using the washi tape that goes with this line. It is super cute, it has spring animals on it. I just think it's adorable, and you can see now that gives me a ton more room to add some photos, some ephemera pieces, and so that way it's allowing me to kind of bring the spread together to tone it down visually from what it looked like with, 15 pictures over there on the right side, and still giving me room to kind of record the stories. So I'm putting down a picture of my parents with my kiddos on Easter, and then this super cute little bunny that says love you holding the bouquet of flowers. I love it. Now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do over here on the right side. So I'm playing with some different pieces. This is a picture of my husband on a hammock with my two sons, kind of representative of spring break, I feel like. I decided to add the banner just to add a little bit more flair up there on the right. And then I'm going to repeat that motif down on the bottom left. So I'm going to secure the picture down, and you can see I'm kind of repeating a pattern. So I have the picture, I have the ephemera piece, and then you'll see me in a moment grab for some stickers, and I will add a banner piece over there as well. Lots of people ask how I'm able to pull these spreads together without a lot of planning. Like I just put things down on the paper, and that's the repetition, the repeating of a motif, the repeating of the papers, the repeating of colors, something like that. So here is the other half of the strip of paper that I had on the left. Now I will find a place for it to be on the right so I can bring in that pattern kind of in the same location. And now I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to add some more of this washi tape because it's too adorable to not add on. It's kind of like a whole scene. So I have it over there on the bottom left, and then I'm going to add it here on the right, just in this little section because I have the wood paper going all the way down. All right, now to keep going, I'm going to add on this floral paper. And originally, when I put it on, I was just going to kind of nestle some pictures on top of it. But the pictures that I wanted to put on top were from a Mexican food restaurant, and they had a bright orange background. Like, that's a lot of orange. And so I just decided that I'm going to do the same idea of the tip-in. I'm going to add another piece of paper, a floral piece that will cover the top. And then I will be able to include those pictures, but they won't be in your face. They will be hidden behind the tip-in or that floral piece of paper. And that way it's not so cluttered and not so saturated visually. And I don't really have to deal with that orange too much. I can still appreciate the colors of the restaurant and appreciate the moments without having to figure out what I'm going to do to kind of balance out that orange. So there were 3 pictures of that one, and yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of color. So including it over there in that little area, and then I'm actually going to grab for some labels. So when Felicity Jane has sales, I always like to pick up their label stickers because these they already have adhesive on the back, which is fabulous. They have like dot grid and line grid and all kinds of little places to write, and they're perfect for these memory planner spreads, which I absolutely love. Okay, I want to add some ephemera to the top of this. I I thought it would be pretty funny to have this little fox who happens to be orange. So like a hint of what's to come when you flip open that little tip-in. So I have a little wreath here that I'll be able to put a title in, and then I'm going to add my little jumping fox, which I think he is super cute. The animals in the set were just so cute. I knew I don't use animals a lot in my documenting, but for the week of spring break and for Easter, it just seemed really appropriate. All right, at this point, I am just trying to figure out where the rest of my photos are going to go. So I've sped this up a whole lot because it's a lot of just adhering them down. I usually start out with getting a few key pieces down, and then at some point you just have to get the rest of your photos down so you know where you're going to have room to journal, where you need paper pieces, where you need stickers, things like that. So I'm trying to figure out where everything's going to go. There were a lot of activities in this week. There was egg dyeing, there was, going to fun places with my parents, there was Easter, there was baseball, there was all the things. So a lot of activities to be represented. But in my memory planner, I really like to represent as many as possible. It's like a snapshot into our lives. And so I really want to include as many pictures as possible. These are so fun to look back on and just see what was happening in a typical week. And it's also fun to see it kind of fluctuate from slow weeks to busier weeks like this one. So I like getting to reflect on that. I do pull out my Happy Planner Punch, which punches boxes, and this works really well, especially I'm just using it to bring in a little bit of that teal floral to the right side. So I'll mat a picture over there of me thrift shopping. And then I just had kind of an odd space over here. I'm like fussing with my punch. I had an odd space over in the top left that I needed to fill up. And I have this picture of my husband and I working hard in the evenings. It's a lot of what we do. We both have jobs that are hard to get done during the day. And so generally the kids go to bed and we pick up work and start doing it again. So I thought it was a funny picture of us watching basketball and getting our work done. All right, now a lot of the layout is done. I am looking for spots that I need to cover up. So I have some of the purple sticking through that I didn't want that was on the original spread. And then I have the sticker sheet. The set that I was sent has 2 sticker sheets that are the same, and I'm trying to use up one of them. I've already used it in my morning journaling time, which is another great reason to look into this company because they have some really specific ephemera pieces and washi tape tapes that I have been loving using in my morning journaling. So I'm trying to use up the rest of the sticker sheet just to, finish a sticker sheet. There's a sense of accomplishment in that when you use up a whole sticker sheet. So I will use all of the little bits and pieces, but at the same time, I'm kind of looking for how I'm going to finish off some other parts of the page. I've grabbed the teal floral paper again, and I have some purple lines that were on the original sheet that I want to cover up because purple was not in the color scheme I was going with. So I'm kind of turning this floral paper into washi tape. So I add adhesive to it, and then I'm just covering up those purple lines. It works really well. It brings in that same pattern in multiple places on the page, which is always fantastic. And once I got those purple lines covered up, this is when I really started to feel the spread coming together. So I struggled with this one. There were so many photos to include. There were so many elements to choose from that I was a little bit overwhelmed and for some reason felt out of practice when I was sitting down to do this. But in the end, it's a really pretty spring spread and I'm really pleased with how it came out. And you can see I'm just able to use that trim, repeat it over and over as if it were a washi tape, and it brings that pattern around the page, makes it feel a little bit more cohesive, even with all of the busyness that's going on the page. At this point, I've definitely reached the fun part of memory planning because playing with the paper pieces is my favorite. So I'm just going through all of the different paper piece choices and adding them onto my page. I have the cute little rabbits, the little fox and the rabbit hugging, which was adorable to put right where my boys were. It's just fun to place these extra elements. And I like that with memory planning, it doesn't feel like you have to overthink it. Pick pieces that you like, pick stickers that you like, pick, papers that you like. It doesn't have to all coordinate. It can all just be fun and whimsical. And that's why I'm really enjoying memory planning because I don't feel the pressure to put together this perfectly kind of choreographed page. It's just the pictures of my family living their lives with the paper pieces that I find so beautiful and inspiring. All right, once I'm done with the stickers and the paper pieces, I actually grab for those labels again, and I'm going to add them to several parts of the page. And this is going to help me kind of set off some of the pictures to add a little more space for some extra journaling. And I'll use them just as quick journaling spots. You have to write pretty small on here, so it was a little bit of a challenge, but it does let me kind of give some of the facts behind a picture or just tell a simple story. And then I can also add journaling in a few other spots, a few of the blank spots on the page. So I like getting to add those labels in. I think it helps just me get the thoughts on paper. All right, I added in all of my lines and all of the little empty boxes because that's how I like to journal. And then I will take it off camera and journal. I actually use a couple of different colors to journal in, a peach and a pink, and filling in, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but they're there. Now, the last thing to do is add the dates at the top. You can simply handwrite the dates in. This is an undated planner. I am planning on getting a new one that starts in July. That is beautiful. It's a happy planner and it is dated, and so I won't have to worry about this anymore. But I'm actually cutting apart one of the banner stickers that has all these cute little pennants on it. I'm putting those on every other one. I'll use some different stickers on the in-between. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a couple of clouds and then some florals, and I'll come back with my acrylograph marker pen in silver to add in the dates as soon as I trim off all of the extra little bits. So I like adding a little bit of extra up here, a little bit of color. It's fun and it's a fun way to kind of set off the dates. The very, very last thing that I will do is end up grabbing for the stamp set, the spring stamp set from Journals for Life. And it has a beautiful handwritten word that says spring and then one that says is in the air. And so I will stamp that where my little fox is jumping. I have that set aside. And I think that that works really well. It's kind of a title for the whole page, which is nice. That's something I haven't really done for my memory planning very much. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. A special shout out to my YouTube members. Thank you so much for your support. If you are interested in finding out what it's like to be a YouTube member, what perks they get, make sure to click that join button below to find out more. Like I said, I will link everything down below. I am not a Journals for Life affiliate, but I will leave their website because I think it's awesome to support small businesses. I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.